Yo, what's up, YouTube? I'm another guy, and today we are reacting to how one guy walked away with $1.7 billion and fooled everyone. This is by scams. That's crazy. A guy fooled people, his partners, I'm guessing, into walking away with $1.7 billion. Like, some questions need to be answered, bro. And this couldn't be me, because he would have to wire me. On God, he would. On God, he would.
San Jose Airport, California. A private Gulfstream G650 is coming in for landing.
Just make sure the volume is up.
Adam Neumann, co-founder of WeWork. Along with him, a case full of cash, bottles of tequila, and traces of marijuana smoked mid-flight. He arrived to negotiate.
Bro was living like
company is
them drug dealers used to live in early 90s. Bro was moving like Pablo Escobar.
2,400 WeWork employees are receiving layoff notices.
Like on a private jet, millions of dollars.
To
the hell? 47 billion?
How one man made $1.7 billion by destroying his own company and wiping out billions in investor money. 2010, New York City. Adam Neumann, together with Miguel McKelvey, opened.
Like, it just stunned me because it went from 40 billion.
The idea is simple.
The
company rents large office spaces, renovates them.
Like, bro, that's crazy. How the fuck did you lose that much billions? We're talking about billions right now.
But instead of calling it real estate,
that's crazy. You could have wired me some, bro. Bro, you could have wired me some of the billions. You didn't have to take it all for yourself. You didn't have to drain the company, bro. Oh my, bro. Bro, you don't have to take all that for yourself, bro. Save some for your boy. I'm just a nerdy guy, bro. Save some for your boy.
Neumann had tried himself in various roles. His first business was selling baby onesies with knee pads. It failed, but Adam learned a key lesson. A well-presented idea sells better than the product itself. And that became the foundation for WeWork.
But that does sound like a good profit.
We have our mission.
Idea.
Curate and create culture.
His partner Miguel, an architect by training, helped with design. But from day one, all the attention was focused on Adam. He was building not only a company, but a personal cult. He walked barefoot in the office, quoted philosophers.
Imagine a billionaire, because we're talking about $1 billion right now. Imagine a billionaire walking around with no shoes on. That is Albert Einstein X. That's some Isaac Newton shit right there. That's some philosopher type shit right there. Like Gandhi. Like, that's crazy, bro. Come on, bro. Like, if we seen this guy, we would thought of the bat he doesn't have any money. But he's built a fortune.
And spoke about a.
That's why I can't really judge people, bro.
Work in unity, and he managed to convince investors of this. The first to believe was venture capital firm Benchmark. They invested $17 million in WeWork.
Wow!
Instantly changed everything. Instead of just a few offices in New York, the company rapidly scaled across America. In Boston.
But what does WeWork do? He didn't tell us. All the thing I heard is like he failed with like his the baby clothes, knee pads thing.
A vision where Neumann was the central figure.
Those are Forbes.
His speeches resembled those of a spiritual leader. He spoke about the meaning of life, about how people had lost connection with each other, and how WeWork would restore it.
If you want to change the world, start by changing yourself, and doing by setting an example. We actually can change the world. I believe our mission as Jews on this planet is to set the best example we can do.
His words often lacked specifics, but sounded inspiring. And that was enough to captivate venture capitalists who wanted to invest in something more than
some modern day.
Why are you
Mohammed Gandhi
in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you
Scams gotta pay bills. I gotta do it too. You gotta do it too.
Shalom Shanghai! This is the Nashville show! I'm looking for a company that's gonna change the world.
It was the Creator Awards that gave us that fuel. There's so much talk in this world.
Inside the company, his cult only intensified. Employees were asked to give standing ovations after his speeches, and no one dared to question his ideas. For many, he was not a CEO, but a prophet.
Us together, all of us here, is every one of us is here because it has.
Bro literally built $1 billion company preaching. That's crazy. That is absolutely wild. Preaching. It's not my words. He said it. Like, he's like a cult leader. He's like a prophet.
Makes the world a better place, and we want to make money.
But again, the message, what I'm hearing right now, it's not bad. Like, he's talking about make money, treat people with love and care, and da 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 da. So I can see why. But what are people actually investing into? Like, a lot of people do what he's doing, but I don't know. Let's see.
Norman also managed to convince everyone that WeWork was a tech startup, even though the company didn't build software or own any patented innovations. Newman argued that just like Uber transformed transportation and Airbnb transformed hospitality, WeWork was transforming how people work. He was selling a dream. The investors bought into it.
I see now. Yeah, I see now.
With the influx of millions in new investments, WeWork begins rapid global expansion. London, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, Berlin, Shanghai. In just a few years, the company grows to over 100 offices across dozens of countries.
Wow.
Rents millions of square meters of office
you have to be
space
doing
and
something
declares
good
ambitious
if your
plans.
company is going
investors, it
into
looks like a massive
100 plus
expansion.
countries.
But behind that dynamic
That's
growth
absolutely
lies a
like
different
wonderful.
reality. Every new office means costs: rent, renovations, furniture, staff, marketing. But revenue doesn't cover the expenses. In 2018, the company loses $1.6 billion. That's the official figure.
See, and this is what about business people don't know behind the scenes. Like, you're losing with a graph like this. Revenue is lower than your expenses. You're losing. Your business is losing. People don't get that because they don't have the balance sheet right in front of them sometimes and all of this stuff like that. But damn, maybe they try to grow too fast. That's what I'm trying to see. Because if you're only bringing in 1.8 billion and you're trying to, I say, spread more across the world, and it's gonna cost $5.1 billion for all the rent, the supplies, furniture, all expenses needed to have 100 plus offices up and running. Well, not 100 offices. Offices running in over 100 plus countries. And you don't have the revenue to back it up. You're already in a deficit.
But instead of stopping or optimizing the model, Newman calls it investment in the future. He tells investors that profit isn't the priority. Growth, scale, and mission, that's what matters.
And building big.
Wow. So why are you taking investors' money then? If it's not about the profit. Wow.
Companies, that is not the goal. The goal is finding something that you truly love.
You know those people that come on the exterior and talk a lot of good game and this and that? Oh, we're about the mission and we're about growth and prosperity and we're not about the money and this and that and this and that. Yet still, they need money to fund whatever they're doing. It's just a whole scam. It's a facade. This is why this guy, Adam, is on scams. It's literally like fraudulent. It's giving off fraudulent energy. It's like, I can sniff it. Fraud. Fraud. What do you mean it's all about profit? Every business is about profit. And if you're not profiting as a business, you're losing. And if you're losing, you can't grow. So you're talking about growth and reaching people and scaling and whatever. You cannot do that without profit. Who's he selling these dreams to? Can't be people.
It has intention behind
But yeah,
Make sure it's going to make the
obviously
world
is.
a better place.
The core idea
And they're clapping. I'm telling you, when these people come with their whole facade and their demeanor like they're doing something good for the world, my goodness.
becomes we, an abstract
You buy
concept
into
of a
it.
future where work, education, and
But
life are integrated.
Every
into
time they
space.
do give
Under
off
this
signals
idea,
of what they're really
launches
about.
additional
And with what
projects
Jay said,
to live
it's not about
residential
profit. If it wasn't about
complexes promising a new
profit,
way of living.
you'd be walking doing what you're doing.
But none of these ideas become.
You wouldn't take investors' money and all of that. It's about profit.
The key investor.
You wouldn't take
becomes
$1.7 billion by the
Masayoshi Son,
title.
the legendary Japanese businessman, believes in Newman's charisma. After their first meeting, he decides to invest over $4 billion. Despite the heavy losses in reports, Newman promises a global revolution.
Bro,
Adam receives
oh my, $4 billion. Oh my. This guy was really a cult leader. This guy can sell sand to a beach. Oh my. This guy can sell a hunch onto a camel's back. Can sell water into the sea. Oh my days. $4 billion.
the funds and full freedom of action. He starts using the money not only to scale the business, but also for personal use. He buys a $60 million private jet. He purchases real estate and rents it out to WeWork. In other words, the company rents property from its own founder. This is a textbook conflict of interest.
Voila. The company rents from its owner?
But inside WeWork, no one
Absolutely
questions it. Newman
incredible.
also begins actively acquiring
So again,
startups,
you're
often without a clear
seeing the
strategy. Among
scamming
the
mentality
purchases,
that he's coming with.
platforms, AI and analytics services.
But
even
again,
fringe
guys, it's not about the money.
businesses, like a pool.
It's not about the
company that makes
profit.
Artificial waves.
Why would I buy a
Spends
$60
hundreds of
million
millions of
private
dollars to
jet?
create the illusion that we
Oh no, but it's not about the money.
but a major innovation.
It's not about the money.
These
I needed to
projects are
fly
used to
and spread my
justify the
message,
company's
guys. It's not about the money.
valuation
It's not about the money.
But in reality, they only increase costs, generate no revenue, and are shut down within months.
Look at
Despite
that.
this, the company's
Look
valuation
at
keeps
that.
climbing. At its peak, WeWork is valued at $47 billion. And publicly, everything moves toward the logical next step, an initial public offering. The company prepares to go public.
So basically, the company's
Before
not
the
making
IPO
any money,
happens,
yet still the
Norman
value is
starts selling off his
growing.
own shares,
But
more than
costs are
$700
growing.
million worth. This raises questions. Why is the founder cashing out if he truly believes in the company?
Another scam. Cashed out $700 million.
In August 2019,
You saw where it was
WeWork
going.
finally files for IPO. And from that moment, everything begins to fall apart. What had been covered by slogans and Newman's charisma for years now becomes public. The documents reveal an unexpectedly harsh truth. The company isn't just unprofitable, it's drowning in debt. Expenses
Expected. Again, but the owner is the one saying it's not about profit, but buying a $60 million private jet and buying properties to rent. Who's getting the money? Bro is literally a con artist. Bro is skiller than the scammers that are calling people every day. Literally, bro is literally skilled.
far
Where's a
exceed
top
income,
class
and the
scammer?
entire operation runs
Top
purely on
class.
investor cash.
We're talking about a
At that
$40
time,
billion
WeWork has over
scammer.
700 locations
Come on,
in
bro.
39
He
countries.
grew the company $47 billion. This is a world-class scammer. You know, like how you have a world-class basketball player, world-class hockey player, world-class football player. This guy's a world-class, all-world elite scammer. We're talking $47 billion worth of scamming. Nowhere. Look at the revenue.
spending over
Look
80%
at
of
the
its
revenue. Oh my God. 3 million.
just to cover rent, more than $2.7 billion per year. Journalists from the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, and Bloomberg begin publishing exposés one after another. All the details that had remained in the shadows are now widely known. Neumann used investor money for personal needs.
Just hear this again. Hear this again.
All the details that had remained in the shadows are now widely known.
Hear it.
Neumann used investor money for personal needs.
Newman used investor money for personal needs. Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. Absolutely incredible. World-class scammer.
A private jet
Doesn't get any
tens of
better.
millions supposedly for work travel. Personal properties rented to his own company, all under the guise of changing the world. It also emerges that Adam registered the trademark We under a separate company, then sold those rights to WeWork for $6 million. The public backlash forces him to return the money, but the episode highlights how Neumann treated investor funds as personal assets. The market panics. The company's valuation, once $47 billion, crashes to $8 billion. Instead of the highly anticipated public offering, total collapse. The IPO is canceled. WeWork pulls the documents.
These investment banks should have known better. We've seen people fall victims to these charismatic types before. This house of cards was coming down. This is a failure in misunderstanding what the marketplace is.
Lead investor SoftBank tries to save the company, but under one condition.
Bro, it's a
Neumann
top-class
must leave.
scammer, bro.
In
Bro,
October
they scam
2019,
billions.
Adam Neumann resigns, but not empty-handed. He's granted $1.7 billion in payouts, part stock
For real?
buyout, part compensation. He walks away a billionaire, while investors who had put in hundreds of millions
Get
see their
nothing.
capital wiped out.
Damn.
Thousands of employees
Yo,
lose their jobs.
bro.
People who believed
Bro.
in the mission and worked 14
Bro, you scammers out there are dumb compared to this guy. How, bro, this guy scammed legally. You guys are out there scamming illegally. This guy is scamming legally. No cops are running him down. He's not getting arrested or charged of yet. I'm not at the end of the video, but we'll see. And this guy walks away from his company with $1.7 billion. And his investors' money blew up in smoke. Bro, you guys are not skilled like him. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. This is the world's #1 scammer until I'm proven wrong. Bro, until he scammed 1.7, bro, he didn't even scam 1.7 billion. That's what he got when he was leaving the company. This guy scammed over 40 billion. Listen. The company was worth at its highest 47 billion. This guy scammed that. Until you're at a level like that, come on, bro. Come on, scammers.
receive layoff notices.
You're not doing it.
In total, the
Get your
company
level
is
up. Get
forced
your
to lay
game
off
up.
2,400.
Get your game up.
Around 20% of its workforce. The company doesn't even have enough cash to offer standard severance. So, SoftBank injects another $6 billion to cover debts and stabilize what remains. A massive restructuring begins.
That was the same company
Crisis
that
managers
invested $40
canceled
billion
live, we grow,
into that
freeze
company.
global expansion, and shut down hundreds of offices, reducing to just 66 locations. Everything that once seemed massive is reduced to a struggle for survival. After the pandemic, in 2023, WeWork officially files for bankruptcy. A company once valued at $47 billion can no longer pay rent.
Wow.
This isn't the story of a classic fraud scheme, but it is the story of how one man built a company on promises with no viable business model and profited from it. Legally, Neumann broke no laws, but in practice, he took advantage of trust, hid behind lofty slogans, misled investors, and left the company buried in billions of debt while walking away with billions in personal wealth.
Bro, Adam Neumann, you are the world's greatest scammer. Again, until any of you scammers can show me that you scammed 47 billion in your lifetime, walked away with real estate capital, walked away with $1.7 billion, and you're doing it legally, there's nothing to talk about. Man, the world is a cruel place. Adam Neumann, you're something else, bro. I don't even know what to call you. You're a fraud. All of that, bro. But it's nothing we knew. Nothing that we did not know. Because this happened before the pandemic. Yo, I'm out. Peace.